It was just one of those nights when I had nothing to do but to lay on the bed and look at the ceiling. Sophie, the girl I was dating, had just left me for Tyler, tall, handsome, and with money in his pocket that could fill a small mansion. Everything I wasn't. I was angry for days, but tonight something changed. Time for a little payback. I have created a new social media profile and chose the name Mia for it. It was a simple name, but I had to be sure that it was the right one. I took some pictures, retouched them to the extent possible. Clear skin, chiseled jaw, full lips. At the end of it, I was left with a feeling of disbelief that the woman looking back at me was me. This would work. A week passed by as I chatted with Tyler on the internet. Much to my surprise, he was relishing it. He answered every message, every little compliment as if it was a routine. I had even managed to justify it in my mind as being for the right reasons, revenge. But then it happened. Tyler texted the following message.
Hey, want to meet tonight?
My fingers were placed on the keyboard and I was ready to type. Oh God, this wasn't part of the plan. I had only wanted to take a few pictures to show Sophie what she has lost. I did not expect that Tyler would be interested in meeting up. This was not meant to be a real date at all. Panic set in. What now? I quickly took a deep breath. Think, I told myself. I could handle this. This was something I did not anticipate, but I would agree with it. The plan was to invite Tyler over to my house, record him walking in, and then send the video to Sophie. That would teach her a lesson. But then reality set in, and I realized that I could not look like those pictures that had been edited. My stomach dropped. If Tyler came and saw me as I was, he would run away before I could greet him with a hi. The feeling of desperation began to set in. I needed a backup plan. Then it dawned on me what I could do. My sister's wardrobe. Yes, it was embarrassing, but it was my only chance. I had to commit. I crept into my sister's room, praying that she would not wake up. She had many black lace skirts, tight corsets, and lots of accessories in her closet. Why did she dress like this? But there were no questions that could be asked at the moment. I took a red gown and my cheeks turned red. The plan for today would be unusual. I wore my sister's dress for the first time, but she always wears my dress, adjusting it as best I could. It wasn't perfect, but it would have to do. I looked in the mirror. Who was that staring back at me? Was this really happening? With shaky hands, I grabbed my makeup and did a rushed job. It wasn't great, but it had to work. No turning back now.
As soon as I completed my makeup, the doorbell rang. I jumped out of my skin. Tyler was here already. I was completely clueless. This situation seemed like a joke sent by the universe. I took a deep breath in an attempt to compose myself. I had to open the door. There was no more hiding. When I approached the door, something unusual occurred. I felt a shiver run through me, similar to an electrical current passing through the body. My waist appeared as if it had thinned while my hips spread, and my chest. What was this? I couldn't explain it. Was I dreaming? I clutched the door frame with my hands, fearing that I might faint from the shock. Gradually, I got up and walked unsteadily towards the mirror. I could hardly believe my eyes. The girl staring back at me was me, but better, more toned. My body had changed. I felt like a woman, like the woman I was pretending to be, Sophie. It was as if the girl in my photos was alive, and I was seeing her in real life. A second knock on the door brought me back to the real world. Okay, this is it. I was completely clueless about what was happening to me physically, but I had no choice but to confront Tyler. I was not sure whether I was still myself, but I could not retreat. Not now. With the beating of my heart, I opened the door. Tyler stared at me, his mouth open in shock. And it was easy to tell that he had not expected such a response from me.
Wow.
His voice was gentle than I thought it would be.
You're even more beautiful than in the pictures.
My cheeks burned. This was not the way I had envisioned things to be. It wasn't revenge. Was I falling for him? I had to remain calm, but it was becoming increasingly difficult with each passing minute. He smiled at me, and I felt a strange feeling in my heart. Was it possible that this whole plan was backfiring in the best way? I wanted to make Sophie jealous, but instead I felt something inside me. Tyler's charm was overwhelming. He then put his hand on my back and guided me towards his car. My mind raced. Was this it? Was I really falling for the man who had taken my girlfriend away? This was not the kind of revenge I had in mind, but as he led me to his car, I felt a flutter in my stomach. Perhaps indeed, this would be worthwhile. The feeling I had was a combination of happiness and shame, which can be described as butterflies in my stomach. We continued to drive in silence for a few minutes, but the air was charged with tension. I could not resist the urge of looking at him from the corner of my eye. He had this aura that was rather irresistible, an air that made me doubt all that I had come to believe. I tried to remain calm, but in my mind, I was a bundle of nerves.
So, what's your story?
Tyler spoke after a few minutes of silence. His voice was warm, inviting. I did not know what to say. My tongue grew heavy with uncertainty of how many details I should share. Should I inform him of all of this? About the revenge? About the trick? Or was this something real? My head was buzzing, but yes, that was only the beginning. I soon forgot about the plan I had in mind as the night progressed. It was comfortable being with him, laughing while in each other's company, discussing all sorts of topics. I never thought that any of this would happen to me. Did I truly find pleasure in my activities? This was all about revenge, but now I was not sure where the line was drawn. Finally, at the end of the night, Tyler took me back to my apartment. I felt a surge of emotions when we were standing by the door. This was not how I expected it to be, but here we were.
I had a great time,
said Tyler, looking cheerful as he entwined my hand with his. Me too, I said, and I meant it, for it was as if I was experiencing this all for the first time. As I shut the door, I collapsed on the couch. My head was spinning. I had come to this point to avenge myself on Sophie, but now the reality was clear. I could not handle it. Then what was I destined for the feelings? This was not the revenge I wanted, but perhaps it was something more.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.